Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Legion 99 podcast, your source for the latest tactics, news, battle reports, hobby talk, and general Legion chatter. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Legion 99. I'm Nick. I am here with Keegan, and we have a guest with us, Evan Paul, from our fellow colleague and Legion player from the 5th Trooper Network.
We all serve the great Shalansky.
How y'all doing? Yes.
serve as a...
maybe for you.
We'll debate that.
I still kind of just do what I used to do. Just like I get to be louder about it, and people get to watch me on YouTube now. So
that's right.
I get.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
We appreciate and reject the title of serve, which is probably the insidious. We actually do serve.
I just wanted to let you know that I embrace the title of serve. So please don't fire me.
We've been gone for a while. It's been 3 weeks.
It has. We are doing a new adoption. We're going to be coming out twice a month, but it's going to be entirely dependent on my availability and schedule with kids. So
kids. You can have dogs instead.
You
do have a dog.
Well, I do have a dog. She's 14 and she's deaf and she's sweet. But if she gets mad that I've ignored her for long enough, she'll come in here and whine. And
my dog's
all that out.
13 months old and he's a psychopath. And doesn't let me do anything.
Psychopaths.
He's at the groomer right now.
Mine are too. That's great.
And so it was like they were like somebody like said he smells. And I was like, I mean, he's a dog, but I was like, all right, we'll get him groomed this weekend. And I was like, Saturday seems good. And I set it up like after we set our recording time. It was like, oh, they had an opening that worked out. I dropped him off like 2 hours ago, played like an hour and a half of Fallen Order because I was like, oh, I get to play uninterrupted. This is great. And I was just like getting so frustrated with a boss. I was just like, it's because it's hard and I don't play a lot of video games anymore. So it's
Fallen Order or Survivor?
Survivor. I'm sorry. Yeah, the new one. I keep calling it that. Jedi Survivor. It's
Which
really
boss, Nick?
Careful.
I don't want to get too spoilery.
Yeah.
I also don't know how far I am in the game. I'm back. I'm doing the story stuff, and I was back on the Fallen Moon. If that helps. Near the end of that part.
I've only done the Coruscant.
Well, it doesn't spoil anything. It's a fallen moon. It could be any moon. It could be Endor's moon. It could be Alderaan's moon. Every planet's a moon, has a moon, or is a moon. So, right?
Yeah.
Jeez. It doesn't spoil anything.
Anyways, today on the cast, we've got Ewoks and new OP kits in the news, our featured tournament of the week. And we've got the next in our series that we are renaming the Redheaded Stepchildren of Legion. And it's not just talking about Tim Hannon. And a brand new segment that's going to be called the Rantono. It's like a Camtono, but instead of Beskar, it's full of rants. And we're excited to have Evan on for that because anyone who's read Evan's articles on the 5th Trooper knows that it's kind of his wheelhouse. But first, as we've already applied, Legion 99 is now brought to you by the 5th Trooper. Join the 5th Trooper Patreon for quarterly rewards, access to the great Discord community, including us, and an exclusive discount to 6-up supply at the $10 tier and more.
Boom.
I'm going to clip that and just use that as the pasted in ad every time, so we don't have to say it every time.
With my boom at the end. With my boom. Yes.
Exactly.
Boom.
And on the YouTube, it's just going to be this awkward slice cut to just this same video over and over again, no matter what we're wearing or whatever, or whoever our guest is.
I've been having fun the last week or so.
Exactly.
I've been having fun the last week or so in the 5th Trooper Discord posting the MCP minis I've been painting. Because I play MCP again now.
That's right.
I paint MCP again now because that's why we're here, right? Yeah. No, we're here for Legion because we love Legion and I love Legion.
Yeah. We did kind of box ourselves in. And we have Ewoks coming. So now on to the news.
I was so sad that we didn't get anything for May 4th. I was so freaking sad. And like Shatterpoint, they showed off that the Vader Obi-Wan sculpt. That's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. And I'm so jealous that it's not Legion. I could see myself buying it one day and just painting it and having it on a shelf because it's amazing. And I probably will. But the next day I'm sitting there at my desk and I was doing some kind of painting or hobbying, and then like I see I see like a bunch of notifications on my phone, and I'm like, what? Ewoks? They're up for pre-order? And sure enough, they dropped all the they dropped like I guess, all of the Ewok product on the Asmodee page, and it has a release date of July 21st. So Jay called that first. He said July because Shatterpoint's June, and they're skipping June for Legion. So that's fine. Ewoks, we have a release date. It's about 2 months out, so plenty of time to get ready. We have no other information other than like that. You get 8 models in a box that's like $35. So we don't know like how many go in how many you can put in an army. There is a new hard plastic ATST, which is awesome.
That was a huge surprise. Also,
I think I'm.
I didn't think they'd do that.
Yeah,
it's like specifically they said like when they first they were talking about Ewoks in a stream a long time ago, and Pagani, like a paint stream, Pagani was like, "Oh, Rebel players might want to start considering picking up an ATST." Like hint, hint, hint. So like, sure enough, I did that. So I have an ATST sitting that is not painted yet, but that's fine. I'll just get a new one. It's okay. Because the new one comes with like, that comes with the General Weiss in the hatch or Chewie in the hatch, which is amazing because that's what I want. I want Chewie. It's got to be a Chewie ATSD. They also spoiled. They also have the card for Chewie on the back of the box, the Chewie ATSD. So, it's probably been covered ad nauseum on other podcasts, but it's basically an ATSD that has its grenade launcher and twin light built into it. So it's got 3 weapon profiles, no melee profile, no mortar. It surges to crit, same armor, same resilience value, same weak point, except this one has Inspire 3 and Incognito. So Incognito ATSD is super interesting. Inspire 3 is great. I would be pretty inspired if Chewbacca rolled up in an ATSC to like save the day. Like, so
great
I get
capturing of that thematic moment.
It's
just like
pretty
really
cool.
continuing, just nailing that theme for the movies and everything. One
of the cards so like it appears that like you get the Chewie ATSD card in the Wicket and Low Gray box. And you also would obviously get it in the ATSC box, and the image on the back of the box has the card, but like one of them has the twin light blaster. One of them has the twin light blaster at range X to 2, and the other one has it at range X to 3. So we're not really sure which one's right yet, but it'll be exciting to find out at a box opening.
It will indeed.
But that's pretty neat.
I need to make a note to remember to put all of the images of these cards up as we're talking about them, because we can do that now.
And we can talk about the Ewok skirmishers. About a week before that, they announced one of the World Open Qualifiers organized play kit.
Yep.
So this is like basically, I guess, like the regional convention level type events and stuff.
Yep. This will be your LVOs, your
Nova. Like Nova's the only one that's been confirmed, I think, so far.
You're right. I think that is true.
But some of the cards in here are pretty great. But that's where we got our skirmisher card.
I'm drooling over that Anakin alt art. I mean, that's
it's pretty great. I think it's like, and it's interesting. This one's top 8 of their faction. So like top 8 Rebels get a Leia, top 8 Empire get a Palpatine. Cool. Yeah, so like you don't have to make top 8. You just have to make top 8 in your faction.
Cool. Oh, that's fantastic.
That's really going to reward like the Road Warriors and the frequent flyers that hit like 4 or 5 events a year, and like they're going to try to like play a different faction each time. Which I love the idea of to get all of those cards.
That's great. That's reminiscent of all the way back in like 2017, 18. FFG with X-Wing is having loads of alts, for top faction, and then from top 64 all the way down to top 4 getting different stuff. So I'm very pleasantly surprised that it's moved in this direction, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's great. I know a lot of my locals were really excited to like hear that, because they were like, "Oh, that the Anakin card is probably the best one." Like,
I'm biased, but yes.
Yeah, I think it's the coolest one. Like we've seen a lot of we've seen the Maul art on the command. Like we've seen those arts a lot before.
Oh sure. Oh, that's good.
And in other games and stuff. But the Anakin one is so good. It's like perfect because that's like when he that was really when he turned.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. But then as you get further down here, the top prizes are very Ewok focused. So.
Which I'm here for.
Yeah, I mean the punch card with the neat suppression tokens is cool, like the purple yellow suppression, like that's neat.
Yeah, sure. I can point you towards some cooler suppression tokens, but yeah, these are great.
Yeah, but it says the top 16 are going to get 9 beautiful attack dice, and I wonder what color we're getting.
Kits, right?
I doubt it. It's got to be something different, right?
You think so?
I mean.
In X-Wing, the dice were usually different for regionals versus
right.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. There was always a regional dice for season, and then each season it would change. Yeah, there was 7 or 8 by the end of it.
That's exciting.
Some were really nice, some were not really nice. Like some of them, the glitter dice were the glitter dice, and then there was the black dice that were just kind of phoned in that everybody had because
the glitter dice the ones that showed up as the normal dice in Outer Rim.
No, those are the world's dice. The world's attack dice, yeah.
Oh,
you would know who actually won theirs because, a lot of X-Wing players just bought a copy of Outer Rim, no joke, just to have those 3 gold dice. And, you would know because they didn't have the defense dice to go with it.
You could tell the fakers because they didn't have these silver defense dice.
The day it came out, one of our, at our game night, one of our good X-Wing players, he was pretty good, but, he wasn't, good enough to, top 8 worlds. He walks in, he had, just grabbed his copy of Outer Rim and he opens it up, grabs the dice and puts the game in, back in the bag. He's like, I don't know when I'm ever going to play that, but now I have gold dice. It was great.
Well, it's a shame because Outer Rim's a great game, too.
It absolutely is.
Yeah. Do we want to talk some Ewok stats on this stuff?
Yeah. So I guess somebody gets a top 8 gets a skirmisher card that's got the full art on it, I guess.
Yeah.
And we have stats now. Ewok skirmisher, it's a core unit, 6 minis, 40 points, so 2 more than a B1. White defense die, 1 courage, 1 health.
Yep.
It has a heavy, a personnel, and a training slot, and it has low profile and unhindered. So low profile is pretty cool. No range attack, a black die for melee for the spear. I mean, I'm really excited no matter what they give us here, but it's pretty sweet. Excited.
Unhindered and Wicket's got scouting party too on there, and so I mean these guys are just scramble across the board. Meanwhile, you've got an incognito ATST wandering up behind them. 6 to 8
models in the unit.
Yeah.
So presumably a personnel will be somewhere around 7 or 8 points, and then a heavy. It's they're not going to be very expensive units, and you take a lot of them.
I wonder if any heavies or personnel are going to give them charge, because for a press W unit, it does seem kind of conspicuously absent to me anyway.
That's fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Also worth noting the Ewok Warriors box that has the 8 models in it or whatever. It has 2 different unit cards in it. It says it includes 2 unit cards.
Oh, interesting.
And some of the Ewoks, on the box, have slings. The little, the ones they hit themselves in the face with. I think Wicket hit himself in the face with it.
Yeah.
Our surging crit, Pierce 1 guy. So I think a lot of people are assuming there's, a ranged unit and in addition to this guy. Maybe it's on the other side of that card.
That would literally make them the crap version of Wookiees then, right? I mean,
you have to pick one. You have to pick one thing that they're good at.
Exactly.
It's Wookiees are good at shooting, or they're good at punching, or they're good at both. But these guys, one of them's good at punching, one of them's good at shooting. I guess I don't know. It's exciting. There's also a full art Wicket card, or an alt art Wicket card. I don't know if it's full art or not, but. It's pretty sweet. It's during the celebration. He's got a stormtrooper helmet under his arm.
Yeah.
Because he just ate that stormtrooper. Because we know that like Ewoks just ate the stormtroopers afterwards. They had like meat for days. They just ate all the Imperials they killed. Like Leia, they gave Leia a dress. They had a dress there in Braintree. We don't know where it came from. Leia didn't pack that dress in her backpack.
I never thought about that.
You never thought of that? Surprises me that you never thought of that.
Yeah, that definitely seems like
it's not an original thought. I saw this somewhere. Like there was a human female, approximately Leia's like size, humanoid, approximately Leia's size on that planet at one point, and now they don't have a dress. Presumably, it
could have been the mom in the Ewoks movie. If you guys.
Probably I was thinking that. It felt too dark to say, but now that we're there,
the original Ewok Adventure is like this fun family movie, and then the second one opens up and everybody just dies.
It's really rough. I saw it as like a little kid.
Now streaming on Disney Plus, I think.
It's great.
Yeah,
but these prizes are good.
I'm gonna rewatch those before I rewatch them with my kids, just because I'm not sure.
The second one, like legitimately,
I'm not sure you should watch the second one. So. They were like, "This is not dark enough. This is not Star Wars."
Yeah.
Oh God, I haven't seen those movies in years, but I do remember that.
I don't think I've actually seen them since I was a kid, so I do need to. Yeah,
and because we did get some Legion news this week, also, I don't think we missed anything else. Yesterday,
I'm sure we did, but whatever. More OP.
More OP. The Asset Organized Play Kit preview. They dropped this on us yesterday. I'm really excited about that alt art Din card.
Yeah, that was really good.
Fire. It's so good. One of my locals cut out the Grogu like out of the picture, and it's now an emoji in our server. The little like.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway,
that's awesome.
This looks pretty wild. It's like an alt scenario. We've got the army building is a little wacky. It's asymmetrical. There's like a defender and an attacker. The defender takes like 0 to 6 commander or operatives and 0 to 2 special forces.
Oh, whoa. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And then I don't remember what the other one is, but it's like more traditional. And there's all kinds of
the attacker's stuff. Army cannot exceed 800 points and has the following restrictions: 0 to 1 commander, 4 to 7 core, 0 to 2 support, and 0 to 1 heavy. So this is cool. This is playing out in a variety of possible ways. Essentially, the season finale of season 1 of The Mandalorian.
I mean, they asset. It's obviously Grogu.
Yeah.
There's also like a little like there's an image of like a range stick somewhere, or what looks like a range stick. So there's also like all these like weapons you see here and stuff like that you can get. There's a weird deployment where you deploy in the middle. It looks wild. Yeah.
It's played on a 3x3, so it's 800 versus 600 points. Defender has advantages. Mm-hmm. There's 4 unclaimed objective tokens that are these. It's like super supply drop stuff. Mm-hmm. So, this is one of the ones. So I've appreciated, but never really felt super intrigued by a lot of the scenarios, and that's just personal play style. I only have so much time, and I try to focus on being better at the 800 point game. This one is something that between the format and the excitement in my local community for it, I think I'm kind of excited to try. So
I'm talking to my local store about running it as like one night. Let's run this. See if we can get a couple kits in.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do the same thing.
You think we're still gonna get Vader down someday?
They teased it like literally like 3 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It's like as soon as
there's been 3 like this is I think the 3rd like scenario pack that they've done. They did like the Dianoga and then the bank robbery one, and then now this.
Right.
Plus the down.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right. Maybe someday Vader down. Cross your fingers.
Yeah. Vader's too good now. Just with the
They'll do
changes
it
that
after they
came in
nerf
the last
him at
couple
the
of
end of
years.
the
So
month.
it's not special. Yeah, it was special when he sucked. We're gonna have this scenario where Vader's awesome. Now
They
it's just
forgot. Yeah, when they buffed Operative Vader, that was the scenario, and they just accidentally put it in the rules.
Yeah, Vader down is every Blizzard Force game you've ever played.
Yeah, there you go. It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
No, hey, I indulge hyperbole only occasionally. You're going to shut me down on this one.
No.
All right, so that's the news. Ewoks, lots of OP. Just banged my mic, but I got this nice little balanced mic thing. I don't think it even made a big difference.
Ahsoka comes out. Ahsoka comes out this week.
Yeah, pre-order if you haven't.
Yeah,
I'm like 90% sure I did, and now I feel like I need to go call my game store to make sure I did, so that I can add it to the pile of unpainted. I think last episode I promised I was going to paint Cody, and I have not. Anyways, all right, Nick, you want to talk about featured tournaments?
Yeah, so we've got a bunch of tournaments coming up. First up, June 10th at the Civic Center in where is this? The Bayou Wars. Check it out. Cammie Brown's running the Ruckus at Rhodia. She did it last year. She's doing it again this year. Currently, they have 7 players signed up on the Game Uplink. They do have a Worlds invite to give away if they get up to the numbers for the store kit, which is 16, close to. They will have a Worlds invite. She makes some great all art cards. So the prizes are going to be really, really good. Check it out. Let's try and get this. Let's try and get like this event up to the next level. The game. Look it up. Game Uplink. Ruckus at Rhodia. And then.
I'm a big fan of that name. My kids this year as first graders are currently doing Ruckus in the Rainforest. It's a class play where each they're all like parrots and lizards and stuff like that, and they each have a whole part to sing. So
I need to get more.
All I'm thinking is that
I need to get more creative naming my events. Cool things like that.
I'm terrible at naming events. I have to outsource it to other people.
I'm always just like tournament at this store this month. That's the name of the event on Game Uplink. But the next one we want to showcase the Atlantic City Open.
That's right. Coming up.
Yeah, coming up in like 6 weeks, 5 weeks, I think. I think it's 5 weeks from now. It's June 17th, I believe, that weekend.
It's 5 weeks. That means I need to get working on assembling these 6-up supply prize packs for that.
That's an FLG event, as you know. Brendan Smith from the Glorious Blasters podcast is TOing. It used to be me. It's him now. He's working on some really cool stuff. He's got some custom terrain he's doing. They've got a mat you can purchase to match it. But I'm not sure where their numbers are at this point. But I know that there's still tickets up. So. Yep. That should be a good time. I cannot go. It shifted to, I was going to go even though I'm not like running it, I was going to try and go because it's like only an hour drive for me. And there aren't a whole lot of like good Legion tournaments like around me lately. So I was going to go, but it shifted to a weekend that I'm working. So, I'm not making it out, but that doesn't mean y'all shouldn't go. If you're in New Jersey or the area, you should go. It's going to be a great time. Go to frontlinegaming.com, the event section, to purchase your ticket now.
Cool.
Keegan.
Before that, in 2 weeks, Bay Area Open. There's still some tickets on sale, but I'm excited about that. I'll talk about it in Battle Reports. Practicing. It's Worlds Invite, one of my only Worlds Invite events. So coming out and see me. Nima's running it, and the local gang. Always a great show. So excited for that. You got a couple events that you're running soon too.
Yeah, right? I just got the green light. I'm not TOing one event coming up. I'm TOing 2 store championships. So the first one will be at where I'm usually at Thursdays and sometimes on the weekends. Top Deck Games in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. We got the green light. June 24th will be our store championship. They have 2 kits, so there will be 2 invites. There will be 2 sets of prizes. So instead of top 8 getting those cool cards, top 16 will get these cool cards.
Nice.
And then I think like the pikes are for top 16. So everybody's going to get a pike card because it's capped at 32. Store's got plenty of space. If you've been in there, you'll know what I'm talking about. Store's enormous. We're locked in for up to 32 players. I believe you can call and reserve a spot right now. Purchase or pre-register. We don't have a game uplink up yet. That'll be handled by the store. But if you have any questions, drop me a DM or, you probably, or ask in the comments on the YouTube and I'll get back to you. Nice. We also confirmed, I talked to the great fine folks at 6 Up Supply, and we've got some extra stuff coming our way from 6 Up Supply for that event that the store is going to go out of their way to purchase. We're real excited about some of it. We're real excited about all of it, but some of it in particular is really cool. That's all I'll say.
There might be a never before seen item coming.
I always get all the cool stuff first. It's so exciting. How great is it that I'm friends with this guy? It's so great. Everybody wins around me. Basically,
it doesn't take much. You're nice to me at least once every 2 weeks for an hour, and
at least once. Yeah, usually I try 2 or 3 times, but
we are talking much more frequently than that. I'm painfully downplaying. We're excited to support this stuff. You always put on freaking amazing events. So.
And since I'm TOing it, all the terrain will be up to snuff. I'm real excited to TO an event. It's been PAX was the last thing I did. So really excited to get back into that. Yeah, I know. And then 2 weeks after that, July 8th, down at Trotta's Hobbies in Barnegat, New Jersey. So it's like a shore store. It's very close to Long Beach Island, if you're familiar with New Jersey. I used to live much closer to them. Like before I moved 6 years ago, I lived about 25 minutes from them. So I would go down there and play X-Wing or Imperial Assault once in a while back in the day. They reached out to me about running their Legion event because they got a store championship kit. So we're doing that July 8th. Same thing. We're getting a game uplink page up very soon. But if you call the store and you want to go, you will be able to do that. That one is going to be 3 rounds, and we're going to do a top 2 cut to get a clear winner. It's capped at 16. They don't have enough space to go beyond 16, which I think is a problem. Not a problem, but I think that's what you're going to see at a lot of stores. Like there are going to be a lot of stores that can't go beyond 16 just due to space.
Yeah.
And top deck will be 30 or will be 3 rounds, 3 Swiss rounds, and then a top 4 cut to get 2 undefeateds. That was what we decided on. So it'll be a late night for 4 people. But same thing. Trotta's is an awesome venue. I haven't been down there in years, but they moved recently. It's a much nicer store. Seems like. I'm real excited to check it out. Bring some terrain down and TO some more Legion. That's what it's all about. Excited.
Cool. And Evan, you got something coming up, right?
So we have, as far as I know, this will be the first major events in the maybe in all the Pacific Northwest. Maybe there was something in Vancouver years ago, but we got the Evergreen Open, which is going to be at Dragonflight Game Con, which is August 18th through 20th. It's going to be TO'd by the great Izzy Gambliel, Gen Con winner that probably most of you are part of. And then he made the mistake of picking me as being the head judge. So I'm making sure that I read up on my stuff. Yeah, I know. I got a lot of work to do. But it's going to be neat because we're actually doing a heat system, which will allow us to potentially account for up to 120 players for the whole tournament. But we're also going to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to play every day that you're there, if you want to, and if you get knocked out the first day. It's the first one we've done here, but we're the center of the Legion universe here. It'll be right next door to AMG headquarters, so it's exciting.
That's right. And what were the dates on that again?
August 18th through 20th.
Wonderful. Cool. And I do have a email from Izzy that I owe a response to in my 6-up supply box.
Thank you. That's why I came here. Make sure you sponsor us. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. So that's our featured tournaments. Anything else on the event tournament front?
I don't have anything else that's screaming at me.
Cool.
There's a lot of events coming up in the next 4 to 6 weeks. A lot.
Yeah.
So,
there's it's super I looked at the Game Uplink event thing. There's 13 pages of events that are booked in there, and we're well past the stage where people are just creating fake
for
events
fun
to test out the system. So it's awesome to see that building up.
Also, we're supposed to get points at the end of the month. That's what they tweeted about, or not tweeted, but it was a comment on one of the streams.
Yep.
So hopefully we get those points in time for a lot of these events coming up, like Rocky Top and all that. It'd be great to see them in the next week or two.
Yeah, Rocky Top and BAO we're all clenching and puckering hard to see what's going to happen with that. Mm-hmm. I think Nima just today in either the local or maybe it was more public than that, decided I think list cutoff is going to be the Wednesday prior to allow for points changes. But if they come out after that,
that's fair.
We'll be a legacy tournament. So
it wasn't. Didn't SoCal miss it last year by a week or something like that?
It was right there. Yeah, I think
it
so.
was
Or 2 years ago, SoCal was
right,
because that I played. Yeah. I played SoCal 2 years ago was when I played that Anakin list for the and did well with it, and it was before he got his buffs. So, but it was right before.
That was back when Empire was a bad faction too.
That's true. That's true. I was saber throwing into just a mountain of AA5s.
Yeah, wild times.
But that's we don't just promote other events. We've actually been playing some lately,
right?
Too. I'll do mine really quick just because it segues off what I was just saying. I did finally get a game in this last week. It's been a while, and it's probably my only practice game before Bay Area Open. So because we're hoping to have the invite, I can't remember if we actually confirmed that or not. We are. I figure I'll go with what I know and try to win this thing. So I'm running my 9 activation Anakin triple Bark list. Padme's gone. Barks all carry RPSs themselves, and I played a game against an Obi-Wan Cody list. Our local awesome organizer and human being Josh brought that, and he's practicing with that. So a lot of fun. Definitely good to knock the rest off because I threw Anakin way forward, way fast. I got away with it, but barely. And I'm looking forward to being ready if Dark Troopers are still the overwhelming mass, because I think I've got the knife to cut them like butter on this one. So
clones are so well situated with Anakin and Barks and RPSs to just they can do pretty well against them. They're really the only faction that can.
I think Shadow Collective can do decent against them.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
But it's pretty much just them. I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll keep mine short and sweet on that one. It was a fun game to get out and hang out with the guys again and play my fun list. So.
What did you think of Cody?
Oh, I think he played him well. I was able to get some early wounds on him, so he had to run a little and hide a little bit more. But I think his on its own, his range 4 gun is not nearly as threatening or oppressive. But where it's really going to shine is when fire support opportunities are set up better. And I was able to position and keep it so he didn't have chances to shoot that with fire support on me, which kept me alive. I think I still haven't found the exact fit where I want to play Cody. I really want to play Cody, and I would have loved to see this Cody Obi-Wan combination just really hum. But I think that that nut hasn't quite.
It is not this day.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not giving up on it. I think that there's probably a version where you're looking at not trying to maximize all of the individual traits and abilities of either Cody or Obi-Wan, but I think there's a hidden synergy in there somewhere. I'm starting to believe more and more that Cody's direct is best, unless you're really focusing on supercharging the heavy or the vehicle that he's directing, and it's probably heavy because it's just a single one. I'm almost thinking it combined with a comms relay is better to just make him a clone commander plus.
Yeah, he's a supercharged clone commander.
And bounce it off to something else to set up fire support better. There's a path down that I've been thinking.
In a list for the Jedi, I definitely agree with you. I just wish that the Republic ATRT gave us more, since it's like functionally the ideal platform, just in terms of the way that it works on the table, is that it can just kind of stay in one place. But it's just so weak on its own.
Yeah, and Josh was running 2 ATRTs with laser cannons in this one, so definitely he was trying to crack that nut. He had a couple of mortar phase 2s, which was cool.
The list I've been making have had ATRTs in them.
Yeah,
because of that, like the exact same reason. Like the comms relay interaction is really good. Bark speeder can get away from you quickly, or you might need it to do something else.
Yeah, I have a particular way that I really love barks, and that's running 3 of them, running them together, and running them on their own without needing or wanting, frankly, orders.
Yeah.
I don't think those synergize well with how I would play Cody. And ATRTs I think are pretty strong there. If there's they're good, really good candidates for that.
Yeah, my issue.
I so want the ISP to work with him, but I haven't spent the time on it. And I think the ISP's height issues.
Don't worry, it doesn't work with anyone. It's not about him.
No, I know, but that's usually my niche for finding something. So.
My issue when I build.
I've been playing Cody as well. I'll say this really quickly is that I've done 2 games. They're both against lists of Jedi. One was a Dooku list, and in that one, Cody was able to find a height 1 position where Dooku would have to work hard to get there, and that he couldn't force push onto there, and that he would have to do a climb action. And in that game, I was able to just kind of sit there and intercept and take him down. On the other game, which was against a rebel list, actually, is that was one where it was against Op Luke, and Cody was not able to get a position of advantage like that. And without a Jedi on my side, is that the predictable thing happened, is that Op Luke came in there and shredded everybody. Because that's just kind of the way the game is right now. So I think that it's tough because you want to run him with a Jedi, but it ends up being extraordinarily expensive. The Jedi that he was made to run with, and we might talk about this later, has some issues. His command cards, while they're solid, is that none of them are fundamentally game altering. And so you have to rely on just good old fashioned tactics. And sometimes against a list, it's not going to be enough for you.
Yeah. I was going to say something similar, just not quite as much elaboration. Just that every list I build with Cody, either it doesn't have a force user, and then I'm like, what am I going to do against a force user? Or it has a force user and it's just too expensive, and it's 8.5 activations.
Yeah.
Or it's 9 or 10 activations, and there's nothing really good in it. Even with Anakin, I was trying to I was looking at Anakin Cody lists. I just didn't love anything. It's I like the idea of it a lot, but I don't like any of it. When
I don't think Anakin Cody's because I think Anakin and Cody are both hungry for the fire support for damage value. And Anakin
wants to clone commander friend,
not
really badly.
And you could fake it with the comms relay like we're talking about, but I'm not. I haven't been overly compelled by the lists that come up with that do that.
I get back to the point. It's now I have to take endurance on Anakin again because I don't have a capo who can play ploy, and it's why am I not playing pikes instead, or barks? It's just
I'll be snarky about that. I used to call endurance on Anakin the training wheels. Now I call the capo and poi on Anakin training wheels because
okay then.
Yeah.
Hey man, if it gets you to the finish line,
I'm arrogant, and I'm in true Anakin fashion. I
won't pretend
play around that flaw card.
I won't pretend that I'm like that. I know more about Anakin than you. There's no way. I won't fight you.
That's just me being shitty and judgmental about people doing appropriate insurance and risk mitigation.
Let's save the shitty judgmentalism for the last part of the podcast.
That's right. Yeah, that's we're trying to focus all of that into our new segment, the Rantono. So stick around for that if you're thinking about dropping off.
I'm just leaving early. Don't leave early.
Yeah,
we're just getting started.
Nick, do you want to talk about an actual game, or should we all just keep not quite ranting?
I played an actual game. I've been playing since Adepticon. I've been playing I've been doing a lot more like giving demos and stuff like that. But like when I've been playing full games, I've been playing a lot of Asajj because she's really, really fun.
Oh, nice.
So I had been playing Asajj Maul a lot, and I decided to try Asajj Bossk. I played Thursday night. I played Asajj Bossk. Asajj had defensive stance, force push, force choke, and into the fray. I have a T series with improvise orders. Bossk has hunter, offensive push, and scopes. A Magna Guard with an RPS, situational awareness, and up close and personal, which I don't like any of those upgrades anymore, except the RPS. I don't know. I don't like any of them anymore.
On the Magna specifically, you mean?
Yeah, I don't like any of those upgrades. 6 B1s, 2 of them have E60Rs, because like I should at least try and put up a fight against Dark Troopers if they show up against me. 2 of them have E5Ss. And then the other 2, one of them has a worker droid and one of them has a medical droid, because I have 2, Healy guys. So let's, that was pretty useful. So far the medical droid's been useful in every single game that I've played with it. Gotten my money's worth for sure. So I was playing against my buddy Travis. We haven't played in a long time. He's been busy with work, and so he finally got back out. He was playing Maul, some Pikes, and 4 Mandos, because the last time he played in a tournament, before PAX, he was like proxying Mandos with ARC Troopers because like he hadn't bought enough yet, and he was playing 4 Mandos, and he listened to the last cast, and we were talking about like I was complaining. Me and Evan were complaining about Mandos a lot, and he was like, "I'm gonna give him a shot because they're fun to play."
Yeah,
and he has Maul on this list. Maul had choke push into the fray and lead by lead by example, or what's the one?
Lead by example is the Inspire.
Not that one. The one with Padme on it. Inspiring presence.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. And then he had 4 Mandos. His Mandos had rockets. He had the generic super commando with the cash surge too. And he also had shields. And then he had 2 Pikes and a capo. So it was basically the list I had, except I had Gar and way more upgrades on things instead of Maul. Maul is way better. Spoilers. We pushed all the way to Sab because I was just like, I'm not playing Recover against Maul. I didn't want to play Hostage against Maul. I was just like, I'm just not going to do this. So we pushed all the way to the bottom to Sab. And we played Danger Close. So, I didn't have a lot of great places to put VAPs that weren't like incredibly exposed. So all of my VAPs were incredibly exposed. So I'm just like, well, I just got to hope that he doesn't one-shot my B1s before they get all of these, VAPs cleared. And he immediately put a lot of pressure on one of my VAPs. Like he had 3 Mandos basically just like right outside of range 4 of it at the start. And he just moved. Once I moved a B1 up, he just like moved a Mando up and rocketed and like took 4 models.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of pressure on that one VAP. I was struggling to get it. I pushed Asajj toward the other VAP where Maul had infiltrated like range 2.5 from it. So it was dangerous. But I knew Asajj. I was like, well, if I trade Asajj for Maul, like I like that a lot because essentially they're both 5 health here. So like, and Asajj's 1 pip is incredible versus Force users. Like if you can get it off, it's like it's dumb good. And that happened. He kind of kept his Maul safe for a long time because he knew that like he had the upper hand. I was losing bodies very quickly. I wasn't able to punch through the Mando safes with like the B1 like range 4 pools and the Magna RPS. Like I was getting, you know, he had dodges, he had shields. It wasn't like amounting to a lot. After round 2, I lost like, I want to say like close to like 18 or 19 B1 models in one whole activation. And he lost like 1 Mando. And,
wow.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was from like Bosk's lying in wait because that's like what I had. So it's like he obviously kept Maul hidden because I bountied Maul. In the case of like maybe he exposes Maul and like Bosk could get a shot. But yeah, I didn't. It didn't amount to a lot. It basically came down to like round 4. Like at the end of round 3, like his Maul, like my Maul and Asajj were near each other near the vat, and then round 4, I played. He played at last the round before, and he didn't attack any. He didn't get to attack anything, but it was like he still definitely had the upper hand here because like this VAP that he was attacking, nothing. I hadn't touched it yet, and he had another super commando around the corner to support Maul. Asajj was able to attack Maul at the end of the round and did 3 wounds to Maul. So Maul's at 4. So he doesn't have Darksaber on Maul. So no cunning. So instead of playing Duel of the Fates, and he played Witch Magic to take 2 off, and I played the Jedi Shall Fall, and I got, after the dodges and taking the suppression, I got 8 hits and crits into Maul, and Maul died. So that was kind of like, it wasn't the game, but it was like very close to the game. We kept playing. It stayed pretty close. But it was like he needed to get a VAP because I was going to win on points because he had only gotten like at the end of the game, he'd gotten 2 B1 activations and a T series, and I had taken off 2 Mando squads. And Asajj was going to be able to kill the Capo and Maul. So I was going to be way up on kill points. There was a scenario where he had a 2-man Mando squad engaged with 4 B1 minis on a VAP. They were both on a VAP, and I had the activation advantage. And basically, as long as I activated that B1 last and it didn't die, like I was going to be able to react to him hitting my VAP. I didn't have anything else to touch it.
Yeah.
And he had independent aim. So if he gets like, it's not really even lucky to like, punch with 4 black dice and aim and get 4 hits. It's not like luck. It's like a thing that could reasonably happen.
Sure.
He didn't get the full. He only got 3. So only 3 B1s died. So I was able. It was like, but if he kills that B1 unit, he wins. Like we talked about it. Like because he was like at the start of 6, he was like, or in the beginning of 6, he was like, oh yeah, I think you've got this. And I'm like, if that guy kills these B1s, you win. I was like, because if they just like punch the B1s to death with that aim, you just hit the VAP and then you win. And I can't hit it again. But it didn't happen. It was a really close game. It was so frustrating when like one of the attacks, an attack from Bosk later in the game into like a full Mando squad, like took like 3 models because like they just didn't roll any saves. Like that just feels bad. Like that's like, it just feels bad. They need something. They're too expensive. I don't think they need 2 health. I think that's wild, but
yeah.
That was my game.
I love getting Asajj out there. I'd actually in the various things that have happened in
she's so much fun.
My distraction. Yeah, I'd forgotten how happy I was that she's in the game.
She's so much fun.
I haven't seen her in my locals and things like that. Hopefully I see her in a couple weeks.
That one pip just destroys things. It's just like you just point it at a Force user, and if you get it off, you're going to get like 3 or 4 wounds. Like
that's awesome.
That Pierce is so good.
If she has the right terrain on the approach, then she can be really scary. Yeah. I think that's maybe the one thing is that she really does depend on being able to hide on the way in.
Yeah, jump 2 is a little helpful
for sure.
But I'm thinking I'm switching her to burst though from Force Choke.
I think that's the right call. I think that's the right call.
I've been talking with. Yeah, I like the idea of barrier on Soaker too.
I was starting to do. Yeah, I liked it, but the Soakless I was doing, I definitely was bringing burst in.
Just going to use it twice, barrier at the most, and it's like, burst can be game changing. Right. Like, you might not even need it for the approach, but then you can use it to run away, and like a speed 2 force user can't chase down like a speed 3 force user anymore. Like, you can get out of threat range.
Yeah,
and she's really fun. But like, if she takes like when she gets shot like that one time. Like, and she takes 1 or 2 wounds. Now she only has 2 wounds left, where another force user would have had 3 wounds left. And that feels like it's really like she took damage, and like I had the medical droid to back her up. So like, you know, and like after she killed Maul, that was like the first activation of the game, and I knew she was going to take shots. Fortunately, I didn't need all of my dodges, so I still had 2 and suppression cover. So I was like, you know, this EV is going to get to poker and take 1 off, and then I'll be back to 1. And it's like, presumably I might actually live this round, because it's like 3 or 4 shots. 2 of them are naked pikes. 1's a capo, and the other one is a Mando squad. Like, you know, as long as the Mando squad doesn't get like 8, like I probably live through this. And, you know, I did. But yeah, it's real scary when like she gets shot and now she only has like 2 or 3 wounds left. It's like, oh, what happened? But
cool. Well, getting games in is good. That's I need to do that more.
The meta stinks right now, but
I think there's a little bit of that. I'm really looking forward to, you know, whatever direction these points changes go, whatever happens, it'll be fresh, and that'll be and I'm looking forward to that. And this is, when I think about it, this is typical of any time in the history of this game. My experience with this game, we've had this kind of, we know points are coming. There's always a month or 2 complete stagnation, no matter what the meta was or will become before those points, and kind of just this it's going to change.
And now we know they're coming, so it's just kind of like, well, we're just like waiting it out now. It's like, we know they're coming.
All right. Well, coming up is our exciting new segment, the Rantono. But before that, I'm going to take a quick swing and cover our 6-Up Supply product of the week. This time, and I apologize, my co-hosts and guests are not benefiting because I left the product actually over there, and I'm not reaching over because I'm all wired in.
Use the Force.
Use the Force. I would. My new. I forgot to talk about my last time I showed off the badges, and I talked about going to Galaxy's Edge. So I had an awesome time there. I will put a picture up.
Did you sell any badges while you were there?
I didn't sell any badges, but I did a lot of. I took some marketing pictures, so we'll have those up there. But I took a bunch of different versions, and I'm putting it up in. I'll put it up for our viewers, and then I just send it on Discord to you guys. This is the kind of awesome time I had because I went and had a lot of fun with the kind of. Where the bounding is the official Disney term, because adults aren't allowed to wear costumes. So I put all of this together and walked around, and
they just suck the fun out of everything.
Yeah, well, you know, they're super liberal with it in Galaxy's Edge is what I learned. There wasn't a ton of people like going. I'll admit I thought I was not going to be necessarily as alone in visitors who were dressed like this. And later on in the day, there was a guy who was definitely like trying to be full Sith and like robes and stuff, and looked kind of awkward about it. But I was just kind of laid back, chill. I'm a traveler from somewhere and came through, and I was mistaken for a cast member and asked for directions almost immediately. And after about an hour of walking around, I knew the place well enough that I just, instead of correcting people, I just started giving directions. And my crowning achievement was, as I'm waiting in line to take this picture that's up, I was talking to the cast member who was helping organize the line and whatnot, and we were having a good kind of in-character banter back and forth. And then the guy who was taking the picture waved me forward, and the guy I had just been talking to for 3 minutes looked and said, "Wait, you're not a cast member?" So I blended well enough for the other visitors to be of help, and I blended well enough to blend with actual cast members. So I had a blast. I spent like from rope drop all the way till I build my lightsaber at 3 in the afternoon, just wandering around doing all the little mini games, riding the rides. I got into Rise of the Resistance before it broke 3 times that day, so that's an achievement in and of itself.
Rough.
How was that? Because when I went, that wasn't up yet.
It was very.
Rise of the Resistance is awesome. Yeah,
it's really good. Very cool. It's very cool. All throughout. I would have gone on it more that day, repeatedly.
I wish the movies were that cool.
Boom. Ranto's coming up, and you didn't submit that as a rant topic, so save it for next time, Nick. Anyways, great visit down there, and I built a cool lightsaber, which is
I didn't get to see it.
Okay, all right.
You don't have to show me now. You can show me later. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. I'll show it off in the next cast. Anyways, what I want to talk about. So Nick and I were actually having a conversation this week because we do talk more than every couple of weeks. And he asked me, "Hey, are you guys making pass tokens? You guys should really make some pass tokens." And we don't have pass tokens, but we have launched these really great additional tokens. We're calling them the new sheriff tokens. We've got a large size that they can be an alternate veto token. For those of you who are familiar with our Outer Rim veto tokens, they look like not Sabak cards. They're Sabak cards. And we also have them Sabak in mini tokens, a little bit bigger than about the size of a quarter. And these things, they're up on the screen for our YouTube audience. These things are great little pentagon shape with the Republic, New Republic crest in there, and can be used for pretty much anything. The mini ones come in packs of I think it's 3, maybe 4. I should know that, but we're just an amateur podcast.
Sold in sets of 2.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, cool. For the mini tokens?
Yep. I'm on the page. I mean, it's only $7.50.
Yeah, so they're great. They're great little things. They've much like anytime we do tokens like this, they've got a metal core to them that we insert, so it's got that nice little heft feeling to them, and they're good for utility for whatever. We intentionally did them without necessarily a clear specific game use, because I think they fit a lot of needs for a lot of different people. So if you are playing low activation lists, they're great to indicate a pass token. If you just want something cool to have on your table to indicate exhausted cards, they're great for that. Any other uses, the alternate victory tokens as well, if you grab a few of them. So encourage people to take a look at those. That's one of our more recent releases. And while you're there, check out everything else. We've got the Plasma Blade line lasers have been selling quite well. Thank you to everyone who's purchased one of those. And as I mentioned at the top, if you're not already a Patreon of Fifth Trooper, or if you're below the $10 level, $10 and above level gets you an exclusive high discount to 6-up supply, and you'll get that code from Jay. All right, blatant self promotion complete.
You did it.
All right, y'all ready for the Rantono?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay, so the way that this works, and I'm going to talk and get my QuickTime thing set up here at the same time. The way that this works is we all submitted rant topics ahead of time, and it is going to. Maybe it's working. Maybe it's working. Yes, it appears to be working. Basically, I'll read them off here in a second. We submitted a list of topics, and I'm going to reach into the Rantono and pick what we'll rant, and don't need to explain this further. So our topics today are Dark Troopers, Fluttercraft Ignorance, Whose Organized Play Is It Anyway? Lando Shouldn't Suck, Discord Threads, Anecdotes Over Evidence, Ahsoka's Reverse Grip Stance, Obi-Wan, Invisible White Dice, Backing into Parking Spaces, AMG's Release Strategy, Downloading Video Games I Already Bought, and Asshole Dogs.
This is a great
series. So we're not going to get to all these, but I cannot wait to see what actually happens. So let's spin the wheel, spin the cantono. And
did it break?
Nope. it slows down at the end. Okay. Up first, whose OP is it anyways? This one is mine. I actually forgot what I was going to rant about, but here it is.
This is a strong start.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. Organized play. Crap, I did forget completely what I was going to say. You know what? I'm excited. I think I started this when I was feeling a little bummed about something or other. Oh, shit. No, here it is. Okay. No, this is a real one. I was pissed about this. AMG released organized play rules and structure, and it's called Galactic Conquest, and it's a well thought out and it's got a new and deliberate tiebreakers. It's got structures. It's got a nifty, not terribly intrusive take on how to do timing that should, without blowing schedules completely, should allow us to put a little bit of variance and a little bit of just incrementally address gamesmanship and slow playing on clocks. And I think I think it's great. It took us a couple of years to get clear organized play statement from them and direction. It's coming alongside with the season model and everything that we're seeing. And they put this line in there about event organizers can make modifications to the rules as needed. And that makes sense to add different little structure things. But when I see people just saying, well, this just means I can throw these rules out entirely just because they don't like something, it pisses me off because there's just this bad faith effort to follow along things just because of arrogance and all sorts of crap. So that's why I think OP should be good faith effort to, as closely as possible, adhere to things. And when people rally behind my cry, then I will finally update Game Uplink to do the timer thing like it's supposed to. That's my rant.
I completely agree with you. I feel like it seems like there's a pervasive attitude of like, oh, well, the tournament organizer should just like follow the parts that they want to follow. And, it just makes me think of like, what are the point of rules if they're not actually rules?
Yeah.
I said the same thing before. I don't think I said it here, but I said it somewhere. Probably pissed some people off, but that's what I do nowadays. Yep.
Absolutely. All right, let's spin it again. This is more interesting for our YouTube viewers. I'll have to get this sound effect too for our podcast viewers. All right, we landed on downloading video games I already bought. This one's Nick.
Yeah. So, Jedi Survivor came out like 2 weeks ago. I am a curmudgeon. I'm an old man, so I like to get like the physical game in my hands and put it in my PlayStation. Even though I can download the game from the internet, I have high speed and I can do that, right? But like, I ordered it from Amazon. It showed up at like 3 p.m. Perfect timing. I went downstairs, put it in the PlayStation, started the install. I come back like 2 hours later to finally start it. I play it for a couple of hours, right? And I'm really into it. I'm super excited. I get to the end of like the first level basically, and then I get on the spaceship, and then it's like, oh no, you need an update before you can play anymore. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This has been downloading for like 5 hours, right? And we're in the middle of like a storm. Like it was the weather was terrible 2 weeks ago in this area, like rainy, thundery, terrible. So it probably affected the internet speed. And I go and I'm like, well, now I can't play anymore. And I hit a wall. I was really disappointed because like the game's only half installed. This game's like 150 gigabytes, right? You know how many gigabytes fit on a PlayStation 5 disc? 100. Yeah. There's one disc. So it's not even possible for this entire game to be on this disc that I purchased. If you had 2 discs, right, then you could have like you could make the assumption it's all on there, but it's not ever. Like, you still have to have an internet connection to download the rest of the game. No, it's an update. You have to download 120 gigabyte update. No, I have to download the entire game. Like, I paid $70 for this game that is like, it's basically like nothing in it. I have to download the whole game on the internet. Like, just don't release the game. Don't release a physical version of the game. Just don't do it.
is
Don't
just
do
a
it.
physical version of your digital rights to the game.
Give me a voucher. Give me a voucher in the box. It's ridiculous. I was so frustrated. And I woke up the next morning and it still wasn't done. It got stuck somewhere and it just stopped. I was so upset. That's it. That's it. Yeah,
you did make me think
that's what you wanted, right? You wanted.
Remember, like Final Fantasy VII on PS3.
That is exactly what I was thinking. Honestly, I had 7 discs for Final Fantasy VII.
So ridiculous, but at the same time, when you're a child and you like when it says like, okay, now it's time to put in disc 2, and you have the sense of wonder. You're like, wow, I played all this video game, and that was just one disc. I can't even imagine what's on the next one. But when you're an adult with limited time, you're like, oh my God, what is going on here?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I set it on story mode so I could go through this faster and possibly consume the entire thing in my life.
No.
I don't have time to download again. All right, that was an excellent rant. Thank you. All right, here we go. Back into the cantono. Spin it around. And yes, we stopped again. We're going back to Nick. Asshole dogs.
Oh man. So have you all heard the tale of Yogi the Golden Retriever? It's not a story. It's not a tale the Jedi would tell. I've grown up I'm in my mid-30s. I've grown up my whole life with dogs. I've had multiple Golden Retrievers. They're excellent companions. They're generally very well behaved. I hit the asshole lottery with this one. I adopted him. He was about 7 months old when we brought him home, and man, he's just a jerk. He's always into stuff. The reason I was playing Survivor for 2 hours right before this was because the dog's not here, so I didn't have to worry about him grabbing something off of my desk like a mini I just painted or like a pot of Nuln Oil. He was chewing on one of the corks that I used the other day, like to hold the minis. Like he had that. I had to fish it out of his mouth. Like he's great, and then he just smiles up at me like, "Thanks, Dad." Man. Yeah, it wasn't what I expected. He's a pure terror asshole, but I love him. It's fine. That's it.
And just putting voice to what every parent listening is saying. Yes, asshole dogs are just children. So
they say that like your dogs like they max out. They're about like the intelligence and like attention span of a 2-year-old child.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, and also your experience of needing to send him away to daycare or the groomers in order to play video games is also the experience of every parent. Yeah. So, all right, let's spin it again. Here we go, coming around the corner. All right, we are stopping on anecdotes over evidence. I think it's a good one for Evan to kick us off for your first.
This is mine. So this might be a familiar phrase to you, is that you say Rex is trash, but one person made it to day 2 of Worlds with him. Or here's another one. My buddy tried Blizzard Force and got eaten alive by a Sabine list. Okay, if we practice medicine this way, then the hospital would be more dangerous than staying at home. We like to use evidence around here, when we have wonderful people like Fifth Trooper's own Lucas Eustick, who actually like gets into the statistics, and through our site we can show exactly what's going on, what the win rates are for these various units. That is what actually tells you how these units are doing. And if you're going to try to make the argument that actually Obi-Wan is just fine, we'll get to that later maybe, then I'm going to ask you for the stats to back it up, and you're going to fail because you're not going to have them. So please, let's stop using anecdotes as evidence. It is not.
Here. I've been watching the movie Inside Out with my kids. That's in our like active rotation. I think we watch it every third night or something like that. And there's a scene where they're on the train of thought, and Joy bumps into two boxes and knocks them over and spills the contents. One of the boxes is facts, one of the boxes is opinions. and the joke is, she's like, "Oh no, they're all mixed up and they're so hard to tell the difference." And Bing Bong, the imaginary friend, says, "Oh, don't worry about it. It happens all the time." And he just starts shoveling them back into the just armloads into the boxes without sorting.
I forgot about that joke. That was great.
Oh man! All right, here we go again. All right, it has landed on Discord threads, which is my rant. Discord threads. Hey, there's uses for them, but you know what? So many other apps have done threads so much better, and Discord threads kind of suck. It's hard unless it's really intentional and everyone on board knows how to use them and what they're there for. The intuitive nature isn't there, and things get lost and messages get missed. And I don't want to have to do extra clicks to go find a conversation unless it's I'm handheld into it, because I don't have enough time to play Jedi Survivor. So why would I have enough time to do 3 clicks to find the same conversation that I thought I was a part of? And then it disappeared because I forgot to reply to something a week ago, and the admin set it to a day. So don't solve everything with Discord threads. And full disclosure, we did plan and coordinate our hot takes.
I was about to call you out, Keegan. I was going to say, and by the way, if you hate this segment, then blame the fact that we organized it using a Discord thread. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. All right, let's do one more. All right. I swear I did not plan this. I actually was kind of hoping it wouldn't come up, but we are going to finish out with AMG's release strategy by Evan Paul.
Yes.
So I've written about this, so I don't need to do my full 10-paragraph essay about it. But we're at a place where, okay, we've got AMG's taken over. We're doing some Battle Force boxes, all that, makes sense. There's like some equilibrium there. And then we get Bounty Hunter for Civil War. And then we get another Bounty Hunter for Civil War. And then we get another Bounty Hunter for Civil War. Then we get a heavy for Empire that nobody needed. And then we get a bunch of Ewoks for Rebels that are also going to be for Civil War. And I've gotten very tired of the people who said, oh, well, Clone Wars got 8 releases in a row with the Yoda and the Snail Tank and all that other stuff, which, by the way, was that 2 years ago now? I think it might have been exactly 2 years ago. At least like a year and 3/4. Yeah.
Year and a half. It's like a year and a half ago. Yeah.
So we're in a place where the Clone Wars factions are still like behind in terms of, especially operatives, like good God, Republic operatives, like we've had weren't we talking about like that game mode earlier where, did you say you were going to have up to 6 operatives in one of those sets?
Well, commanders are operatives.
Okay, well, I guess it's going to be all commanders for Republic because we don't really have any options.
Yeah, because you can put 6 Jedi worth of into 600 points easily.
Probably not. And it's all exacerbated by the fact that like we have Shatterpoint coming out, and it's a different game. It's completely character based, so like I get it that the pace is going to be faster for characters, but seeing Jango, Mace,
the entire cast of Star Wars Rebels.
The entire cast of Rebels, absolutely. So it's even true for Civil War.
Should have been a rant.
We're doing this again.
We could do a thread rant for that if we want.
No.
We can start a Discord thread rant.
I'm basically, at the end of the day, I'm just concerned that like the Clone War stuff is going to remain behind forever because AMG seems intent on kind of releasing the things that they think are neat units, but that it seems like most of them are kind of trending towards the Civil War era. And I am worried that like Clone Wars is just going to kind of keep slowly falling more and more behind.
Yeah. Well, here's hoping. I don't know. That's a shitty way to respond to that. Yeah.
It was a sad rant because it was good and it was like on the nose, but
maybe I'll copy paste the asshole dogs into the end one. All right. It was great. Thank you both for playing around with this. We talked about this as a segment. I enjoyed it. I hope you two enjoyed it. I hope our viewers I'm planning on bringing that back.
The spiciest one was left on the table. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's one that I know is going to trigger both of you. So I was hoping it was going to come up. Don't worry. My rage about that one is ceaseless, and I'll be able to bring it up whenever.
Wonderful. We'll definitely have you back on a future. And this is a segment that we like. I think it works better the more guests we have to get some more variety. So we'll expand our rosters here. All right. That's our show today. Thank you, Evan, for joining us. We've hinted at it all throughout, but for anyone still listening, where can folks find you?
TheFifthTrooper.com. Just look for the blogs that are about the dumbest stuff, and I'll be writing them. Your style and what is it? You're almost a court jester of the Fifth Trooper.
I enjoy seeing, like, I saw when a conversation in another Discord when like you released the Shatterpoint article on April Fool's Day, and like,
so good.
As like a person on the other side of the window, the reaction that like I read it, like it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
like, somebody posted it, and then a couple people thought it was like real for a while, and then it was like, oh, guys, it's April Fool's Day. They're like, oh, I think they accidentally put like a book review here. This isn't the game. Okay.
When I saw the reaction that one Stabcast Ben had when he was reading that, was that he was totally duped, and I was so happy about it. It was like Tim shared his genuine reaction with us, and like he was like 3 paragraphs in before he saw what was happening, and apparently he was so mad. I was like, yes, this is what I live for.
That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening and for watching, and we will see you in about 2 weeks. We're going to try to hit that release schedule in 2 weeks. I've got our normal recording time. I'll be at Bay Area Open, but we're going to figure something out.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks,
guys.